Welcome, everyone, back to Anonymous Addiction Deprogramming Everything International Deprogramming Podcast. Check us out on Facebook at Anonymous Addiction, My Truth About AA, as Bobby C. sees it, private group. Please come over and join us. Today, I want to talk about the freedom and power of choice. Free will. Action, our energy, what we put our attention to. Here's the thing with the power of choice, the freedom and the power of choice. The choices that we make on a daily basis, everything is now. So what I'm doing right now is the cause. Okay. And after I do this, it'll put out a podcast and that'll be the effect. The cause I can change. I have control over the causal factor. The causes I can change because that's what I do. That's what I put my attention to, my care, my will, the choices that I make, the energy, what I say, what I think, what I do, what I feel, how I feel, my thoughts, and that creates the effect. The effects are, it's truth. It can't be changed. It's done. Cause and effect. Now we have the power and the freedom of choice, and through cause and effect, we don't have the power. We have to accept the consequences of those cause and effect, the action. As long as we can accept the consequences that come out of the action, the words, the thinking, the thoughts, the feelings, what we do to other people, what we say, how we say it. Karma is really the consequences of cause and effect. We can't escape the consequences of our behavior. Now, some people, I'll give examples of cause. Okay, some people can look, they want to drink, they're happy with drinking. Maybe they're heavy users. Maybe they use drugs, alcohol, maybe they gamble, maybe they use food, sex, whatever, but they're okay with it. The cause and effect, they're going to suffer consequences with it. But if they're okay with the consequences, so be it. Some people want to use harm reduction. So through cause and effect, the consequences of harm reduction would be a simplicity. I think harm reduction is simple. It's using less or doing less, saying less, thinking less of something to create a better outcome and a healthier, more holistic outcome. So I would say that's, harm if they choose it, because it's all, remember, this is all freedom and power of choice. If they choose that. Now, if somebody chooses to stop, I don't like to use the word abstinence because that's like a recovery buzzword, abstinence. If they choose to stop or quit a habit like smoking, like I quit smoking, do I collect chips or tell you how long I've been smoking? I don't even know how long. I don't even care. I might smoke next week, so that doesn't matter to me. I quit smoking. I quit alcohol. I quit drugs. But that was my choice. That's the power of choice. That's the freedom and power of choice. That's my choice. I don't respect everybody. Some people choose to hurt other people. So if some people are through cause and effect are hurting people, hurting themselves, hurting their family members, robbing, stealing, doing some damage to other human beings, I don't respect that. No, but that's their choice. Maybe they don't know they have a choice. Maybe they don't know they have free will. But just be careful. I always tell people, if you're going into detox or if you're going into a rehab, listen to some of my podcasts. Before you go into the rehab, you got pressure. When you're coming out of a rehab, Tune into Anonymous Addiction Deprogramming Podcast. Before you get into rehab, why you're into rehab, because you're going to, no matter where you're at in the 12-step model in this society, it's all over. It's subliminal. It's all over the place. Society just eats it up because it's a big marketing, multi-level marketing scheme. And I just posted something like it's like 50 billion. It's a $50 billion industry. So there's a lot of money to be made in this recovery trap, addiction recovery trap. So getting back to power of choice, okay? Cause. The causal factor is what we do, okay? Care. Alcoholics Anonymous always says, give your life and will. My will? That's like my will, the care, and my will is what generates, like my will generates what comes true, creates my reality. My will is my action, what I put my attention to, my energy, my care. It's a free will, and I have consequences of my actions, of my free will. What we care about on a daily basis acts as the driving force of our thoughts and actions. Therefore, care can be seen as the ultimate generator. It's like the heart pumps. It's a generator. The care drives it, what we care about. Rockefeller knew this. All the motivational speakers, all the gurus, all the, that want to collect money off you, they all know this. They all know this occult secrets of society, that wherever we put our will and attention, that's where we're going. When Alcoholics Anonymous says, give your will and life over to our care. So what they're saying is, give your whole life and we'll take care of you. Just, it works if you work it, they say, but don't think, don't drink, and go to meetings. They want you to work everything. They want to take care of you. They want you to give your will and your whole life over to their care. When Alcoholics Anonymous says their care, Rockefeller designed it and created it, they mean /God, religion, because as soon as you give your will and life over to the care of God, this religious God, they got you. It's a control mechanism. The government. You think we have freedom of choice? Yeah, we got two parties, two wings of the same bird. That's freedom of choice. They call that freedom of choice, don't they? Two wings of the same bird. Now, the government does it. Religion does it. The monetary system does it. They're actually, when I say deprogramming from everything, I'm not just talking about Alcoholics Anonymous, the cult of religion, the cult of government, the cult of money, okay? The cult of success. Everybody wants more. They'll tell you if it's free, it's not worth anything, okay? Sooner or later, people will get it when they get older. I'm old, okay? So I went through a lot of, I was around this and in this recovery industry for 40 years. But I was born in 1950, so you figure it out, okay? So I've been around and I've been searching and fascinated about all this stuff for years, okay? So if you want to give your life over to the government by this fake choice, they're dividing families. Internally, they're dividing families, vote for this one or vote for that one. If you don't vote for this, I don't love you. You have to vote for that one because we're a family, right? We got to stick together. So watch out for all the different cults, money, success. When you get older, you'll start to understand that it's all part of the whole cult mentality, the programming. It's all part of the programming. It's all part of the matrix. If you know what the matrix is, and people say, who are they? If you don't know who they are, that's stay tuned to this channel or go to other channels that talk about it. Okay, so let's get back to care. Okay, the generative principle of the quality of our experience. This principle has been often referred to as the generative principle, which derives from the Latin word, which means create. Remember, I always talk about we're creating our own programming. We are creating our own, we choose the freedom of choice. We choose a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Don't fall for the cult mentality of fanaticism. This one leader is the best, you know. Look, Anthony Robbins, you know, he does, look, all these motivational speakers, I don't care who it is, Napoleon Hill back then, Earl Nightingale, I don't care who it was. They were hired to make more money so they could go speak and teach the people at the universities, the college, the big organizations, the big corporations to be more productive, to make the puppeteers, you know, the puppet masters more money. That's all. It's all a pyramid. Everything's a pyramid, no matter how you look at it. It's all a scam. Oh, Bobby, you're saying no, life is not a scam. I am not a scam. We are not a scam. Human beings. So create your own program. That's where you put the care of. What we care about and put our will behind what gets created and manifests. That's why they want our will and our life. Give it over to the care of AA, religious God. We all know AA is a religion, religious God, and your sponsor. So give your life and will and care over to your sponsor. This one gentleman or lady, the gentleman, I call him a gentleman, but this one person, I never believed in sponsorship. I didn't like it. I had a sponsor because you have to. You got to lie. You got to make the shit up. You got to say, yeah, I got a sponsor. Yeah, I got a sponsor. I'll do what he says. You know, I had this guy like I want, because look, I took my last chip, these stupid celebration ships. I went to like a couple meetings in the last year, a year and a half, and I went because I went with this buddy of mine, collected a 35-year chip. That was the last chip I ever took. And actually, I went in there just to promote a smart recovery meeting, anyhow. But I haven't been to a meeting in over 5. You know, probably I went to one in probably 6.5 years. But the care now. Mentalism, the mind. The mind, thoughts lead to manifestation. We all know that, right? Thoughts, thinking, feelings, action, will, our attention, our focus leads to manifestations of things and events. That's how we create. It's how people become successful in certain creations of what they want. If they want money, a lot of money, they'll create it. But sooner or later, they're going to find it's all the game. It's all part of the money game. It's the money cult. They go after you. Buy a house, you don't own that house. You're renting that house. I don't care how you look at it. You're renting a home. You're paying taxes on the land. You know, and the house costs you so much money for all the things that you got to buy. It's just a capitalistic cult society made up by huge corporations and funds, and the government is part of the leg, you know. So mentalism, thoughts create our state of existence and the quality of our experience here on earth. Therefore, be responsible for everything you create by being responsible for everything you think, do, feel, say. Be responsible. See, Alcoholics Anonymous takes the responsibility away from us. They took it away. They come in with this man-made, created this disease that was created in the 1800s. Bring it, carry it over here. Keep on pumping it with the disease. The only disease that we have is a self-diagnosed disease. Who diagnosed you with this disease? No one diagnosed. Matter of fact, I never told any medical person. I don't know. I was pretty smart. I was deprogramming when I was even in the beginning. I was like, I had this. I was always cognitive dissonance, and I didn't have the internet way back then. And I'm not using that as an excuse. I just did not seek out other avenues, but I did in a sense because I went to CODA, I went to ACOA, but they were all 12-step propaganda cults too. Then I went outside the box. I went into one-on-one counseling. I did group counseling. I did the Iron John thing. And then I started to go eventually and seek out other avenues and other information and got other information about natural law and, Jordan Maxwell and different types of leaders. And I call them the grandfather of symbolism, the grandfather of this whole natural law thing, really. Check out Mark Passio. He's great. I really like Mark. He's over there where I grew up. He's on the other side of the bridge over there in Philly, Pennsylvania. But natural law, universal law. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of this stuff that I gathered from a lot of the other information from different sources. Okay, mentalism. The mind ultimately directs and manifests all change in our environment for better or worse. Look in the mirror. I see the solution or I see the problem. What did Abraham Lincoln go? Whatever you think it, as a man thinketh, so shall he become. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. All that stuff is true to some extent. I did, I self-diagnosed with this disease. Like, who told you? Who diagnosed you? Maybe you were diagnosed, but who diagnosed you? Back in them days, you were self-diagnosed. If you said you're an alcoholic, my name is Bobby C. and I'm an alcoholic, then you're an alcoholic. Well, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't have a disease. Now, does that mean I didn't have a habitual drinking problem back then? Yeah, I did. I would suggest anybody, this is just a suggestion. People say, well, you're not a professional. I'm glad I'm not a professional. I have degrees. I have certain things. I've just taken courses and stuff and got certified on a bunch of different things. Okay, I don't have to tell you what it is, but I went to Rio Salada Community College and I studied all that. I got out of it because I found out that it was just, oh, Bobby, they'll say, you're saying that because you didn't succeed. You didn't go all the way. No, I found out that it was a game. That's what I found out. Now, I'm not saying professionals don't do things in the world. Look up the definition of a professional. Look it up. I mean, it's as simple as that. I'm a professional in my own experience. We're all professionals because we have knowledge and skills and thinking, and we can talk about subjects that we're aware of. We became aware. We were thinking, we were questioning, we were observing, we were becoming aware. The power now, wherever you are now, when you make a choice, when you're in your car or you got to go somewhere, think for a second, observe, just be with yourself for a second. What do I need? Am I missing something? I know I got to put my shoes on. Oh, I need my key. What else do I need? Stay open. Don't be rushing all around. Stay open in the present moment and now. See what you got to do, because that's the cause. The causal factor is me being aware, being a witness. Yeah, I walk out and forget stuff, yes, but I'm just saying, be aware. When I open my mouth, when I respond to my wife, because me and my wife been married 52 years. It's going on 53 years. 53 years of marriage. Now that doesn't say no. I mean, that doesn't make me special, because there's people that have been married 2, 3, 4 times. That's okay too, because they had to change. Believe me, they had to do some changing. I had to do some changing too, but I was with one. Okay. I have two beautiful daughters, two beautiful, smart, great daughters, 5 beautiful grandchildren. My oldest granddaughter, say hi to her, Ariana over there, Chino, 27. I have some experience with life as far as marriages and children and stuff like that. The eighth principle is called the hidden principle. It's Hermetic, the Hermetic principles. Eighth is the hidden. They don't talk about it. It's care. It's the big. So the mind ultimately directs and manifests all changes in our environment for better or worse. So I look in the mirror. Am I the problem and the solution? I'm both. It depends on what I'm doing that day. Am I the problem or am I the solution? I'm not, and there's stuff in between too, because I'm not perfect. I'll never be perfect. I don't even want to be perfect. People say we're all perfect. Yeah, we're perfect spirits or whatever, but whoever is directing the mind is also engineering the change. Whoever is directing the mind, whoever you're giving your will and your life and care over, is directing your being. They're directing your destiny. The cult of AA is just like the cult of religion or government or any other money or any other cult mentality in the world. It's not much different. Once you start deprogramming from Alcoholics Anonymous, I would recommend, it's just a recommendation for me, don't stop there. Don't stay stuck there. Yeah, it's going to take you a while to, bitch about it and complain about it and, talk about it, which I do and you do too, which is good. But check other things out that you may be programmed, because we're being programmed all the time by TV, Netflix, all TV, the media, Hollywood, religions, all religions. There's programming going. Once you understand the matrix, the veil is lifted, you got a bullshit meter. You can detect bullshit. Okay. So passive aggressive behavior, narcissistic behavior, gaslighting, all that stuff, you'll be able to detect the shit. Okay. You just get wiser, you get smarter, you get more intelligent, more knowledge you have, you become aware, you're more cautious. You can make better decisions. I'm not like I was years and years ago, where I was compulsive making decisions. Somebody tried to sell me something, I'd buy it. I was in a couple cults. The first cult I ever was in was religion. I was born into, my mother gave it to me. I didn't ask for it. The cult of religion. Catholic, did all the rituals. Okay. I'm not saying nothing, I'm not blaming my mother. She was programmed. My dad wasn't. My dad was a very smart man. I wish he was here with me. I really do. I wish he was here with me. Boy, would I love to have him as my best friend today. My dad. Yeah. But the cult, then I get joined in AA. The cult of the military complex, joining. I don't want to even get into that, but that could be a podcast. I may talk about that one day, but I got out of there because I knew I was smart. 21 years old, 19, 18, 20 years old. I was 19. I don't even know how. I forget. I'll mention this. One thing I did diagnose myself with about maybe 15 years ago. I was in there in a girl, we were talking about different types of things. I circle things with my finger. I circle objects sometimes, keeps me busy. I don't do it much anymore, but I still do it. Look up the dyslexic. You want to label somebody, you can label me that. I don't care. Even though I don't use labels, and I never talked about it. It's the first time I ever talked about it ever. I talked about it to my daughter, and I talked about it to my wife a little bit once, a couple times. But if you want to see anything, I had all in when I was in first grade, they took something off the board, it was gone. Even today, people say, "Well, you can change, Bobby. Your mind can create different, rewire and all that other stuff." Well, I've been doing a lot of work, and all I could say is I have other skills and other abilities because I create things differently. And I'm not buying all the things, like even with this recording. I may get into more graphics. I may get a studio and maybe do some podcasts and get some more equipment. I might. Maybe I'll die before I do, but I may. But I'm not going to go crazy because there's an addiction called more. More, more. The addiction of more. I want more. I always want more. More of this and more of that. More money, more education, more knowledge. I always want more. It's good to go for knowledge and wisdom free, because it's free, believe me. This stuff is free. With this internet, this stuff, it's unlimited free. You just got to search it out and seek it. You want group think, then join a group, join a thing, which there's nothing wrong with that, because I've been looking. I'm going to start a group, whatever it is, somewhere, someday. I'm going to start a group because I want to be somewhere. I know exactly where I would love to be in a setting, but I can't find it nowhere. Tell you the truth, I cannot find it. I created it in my head. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's created in my head. It's always been. If I put my will, action, energy, thought, and effort into it, I would achieve it. I'll achieve it. I haven't done that much to do it because I don't know. I can't make excuses. It can happen. Okay. But I want to create something that I want. I desire something better than going in and going to NAAA, Smart Recovery, Freedom Model, Naked, the Naked Mind groups, and all this other. And there's nothing wrong with that. You could pay $39, $89, $100 a month to listen to, but you can get it for free. That's the thing. And I like Annie Grace. I mean, I think she's a great gal. She's making money. She's successful at it, and she's doing a great job. I'm not knocking anybody making money. You can make money, but but I got to be real about what's going on. That's where I'm at. I have to be in reality of really what is going on in the world. They use the word denial. I don't like it, but what I could be, I'm programmed to think, because it's been subliminally in my subconscious instilled that you have to be a success and you need more yoga, more knowledge of metaphysics, and more knowledge of the afterlife, and more knowledge of this and more knowledge of that, and more knowledge. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like to keep it a little simpler, keep it more basic, like the natural law that I would like to kind of talk about. It's more simplistic. And I don't, I'm not getting mad. Anger is good. I'm not saying I'm not getting mad. Anger is good. Anger is a good emotion. There's nothing wrong with that. Jealousy is a good emotion. It motivates me. I get jealous of people, and it motivates me to do it. If they can do it, I can do it. I'll give a shout out to my buddy out there, Unconquered Healing, Renee Pierre the Third. I call him Reedy over there. Shout out to you, my man, over there in Florida. You're doing a great job. I really like you. He came on to the 2 podcasts with me. I like him because he's manifesting. what he desires. He's an example. I'm an example. We all are examples of this manifestation through the mental capacity of our will and care and life and energy, that we manifest what we believe is we want. It's so evident that we are the creators. Heaven and earth is within us. Heaven and earth is within us. Karma is just consequence of cause and effect. Remember, we could change the causal factor, but the effect is done. That's the truth. The effect. In this world, we need more cause. Work on the cause, the care. Let's see what else we have here. I got all kinds of stuff written down here. You know, the cause and effect, our care, our energy, our free will, our choices, our attention. They want to steal it. They want to take it away. And look, if you're going, if you're not even, if you're happy where you're at and you want no changes, that's great. That's the freedom and power of choice. If you want some changes, just a little bit of changes, you want to do some harm reduction, come join me. Come over to Anonymous Addiction. Come join me. Don't follow me. You could join me, because whatever I'm saying, you don't have to believe. Check it out for yourself. I'm not trying to brainwash you into believing what I believe. Okay. I'm just passing some things that I feel a responsibility and an obligation after going all those years in there to do what I'm doing. I'm fascinated by it. You could call me a philosopher. You could call me a journalist. I don't care. Yes, this is an institute. This is Bobby C's Research Institute, as other people claim to have it. It's Bobby C's, but it's a simple, logical, rational, commonsensical thing to understand. Stop following the gurus. You know, watch the passive aggressiveness of people. Watch who you're following with. Do they have leaders? How many? They got 2 leaders sitting there, just like Bill and Bob. You know, watch out for the leaders. Do they let you come on talk? Hey, if you're harming, look, if you're smoking some cannabis, I don't care what you're doing, recreational drugs. That's, you know, it's your business. It's your freedom. If you're doing psilocybin, but there's always something. Some people have side effects from every different thing. Okay, just remember that. I like to talk about the other side that nobody else talks about. Okay, maybe the side effects of some of those new ketamine treatments. You know, watch out for that shit. It works for some people, and some people will go on YouTube and make videos about how great it is. The Sinclair method. Watch, look, check out what the side effects are. Uh, check out the other side. Don't look. It's like in politics, you know, everybody wants to look at this side and that side. They don't want to check out the other side, which it's all the same. But check out the other side of it, not to confuse you, but to have an open mind, to not be this world is full of order followers. Look, I worked for the government. Oh, I didn't tell you. The other cult I was in, I told you I was in the religious cult, the Alcoholics Anonymous cult. The other cult I was in was A.L. Williams. It was a multi-level marketing. I got the book out there. I'll bring it in next time. It shows you the hierarchy, the pyramid hierarchy, how to multiply by recruitment. I got it all in there. Okay, I never wanted to do that to people, because, yeah, I was up on stage and I was, you know, getting this one in and getting that one in and preaching the shit, you know. AmeriCorps, I think it's called now. Watch out for the cult of multi-level marketing. Yeah, you may become the millionaire or the billionaire, but there's going to be 10,000 other people that won't. Okay, and they're going to lose a bunch of time and money and effort. You know, talk about that. It's just like Scientologists. Scientology talks how great it is when you go into one of the big churches and stuff like that. But how about, I researched the people that got out of it, I just watched the podcast. I sent it out. What the heck is the name? If I could find the name real quick, I'll tell it to you. But it was good. It was. I don't usually listen. I mean, it was an hour. I don't usually listen to stuff that I had considered really super good. I'll see if I can write the name. I'll find it somewhere. It's on my other booklet. Check it out. Check it all out. Yeah, I was in a couple cults. I was in the religious. I mean, I was in the government cult too at one time. One time I was way back in Jersey when the mayor for the mayor and the mayor of my town. It was a Democrat town. I was with Eric Ketty back in the app scam days. Okay, in Camden, New Jersey. Look it up, the app scam. Okay, I was involved with that, the Democrats, because they were for the poor. Then I got a little bit of money, and oh yeah, well let me switch. I like the Republicans now. And they became Republican. And then they got progressive, and then they got this, and then they got that, the libertarian, and blah blah blah. They're two parties, same bird, different wings. The wings belong to the same bird. Control. The word government, control. It's just control the masses. Yeah, I was involved with the cult of the government, the biggest religion out there. Yeah. Materialism, capitalism, which that's what they say is the best thing now. But sooner or later we're breaking free. We're becoming more subconscious is becoming conscious. We're becoming more aware. We're thinking more. We're getting more information. Don't just break through the Alcoholics Anonymous cult. Go further. Keep on going. When I say more information and knowledge about wisdom, I believe is okay. Maybe that's addiction too. Somebody's probably going to call me out on that, and that's okay. I'll be open to it. But I feel I like have a responsibility. The plane of effect constitutes that which has already occurred. That's the effect, and the cause, all power to effect change lies here. The cause, what we do now. I don't know what else I could say about this kind of subject, but be aware. Think, question, observe, become aware. When you're walking down the street, you're observing. You be a witness of the now. Be a witness of the beauty. I live over here in California, Huntington Beach, California. I'm looking out. It's blue sky. Yeah, we're going to get 5 days of rain or whatever off and on, but yesterday we had rain all day. Today, blue sky, clouds. I got it made here. Okay, the weather-wise. But that's going to be probably it. So check me out. I started TikTok. Check me out on TikTok. I know there's a lot of shit about TikTok and people hate it probably, but I'll check it out for a while. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube. I want to get on those other secure platforms like BitChute and stuff like that, Patreon, different other sites that I keep my files, but they're more let's say freedom of speech, because I believe in freedom of speech, even though it's getting worse and worse and worse. I believe in freedom of speech, but I'm cautious. I'm not the type of person that likes to, I don't like offending people. I don't know, but if somebody, I'll tell them. I'll be truthful. I'll tell them what I think. But take care, everybody. This is Bobby C. Bobby C. here, and let's see. Stop recording. See you later. See you on the rebound. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.